who do you look at around the league as you're studying and say, we're going to have to run through them?
Celtics.
No one in the West?
Nah, I'm fine in the West.
Can y'all believe that Ja Morant said that just a little under a year ago? Oh, ho, ho, how the times can change so fast. Because as of today, just 11 months after that little meme went completely viral, Ja Morant ain't just not fine in the West anymore. He ain't fine anywhere in the league. Let me show you a list of teams that are currently doing better than Ja's Grizzlies. Yeah, guys, your eyes don't deceive you. As of the moment, Ja Morant and the Memphis Grizzlies are sitting at the bottom of the league. And it doesn't look like that's going to change anytime soon either. Ja Morant's worst nightmare is coming true. And according to team sources, it's because the alligators got him. Do y'all want to know how bad things really are for the Grizzlies? Here's a list of teams they've lost to in the first 10 games of the season. New Orleans, yeah, that's fine. Zion's a beast. Denver Nuggets, yeah, everyone expected that. But the Washington Wizards? The Grizzlies lost to Jordan Poole and Kyle Kuzma? Then, to make matters worse, about a week later, they lost against the rebuilding Trailblazers to start the in-season tournament. I can't believe they lost to the friggin' Portland Trailblazers. How crazy is that, right? Like, I know Ja is still suspended and isn't playing at the moment, but the Grizzlies are a team that was supposed to be on the rise. They should be able to win these games. But after that loss to Portland, they dropped to 0-6.
I'm fine in the West.
You know, it got so bad that the previous heart and soul of the Celtics, Marcus Smart, actually broke down and shed tears. I feel for him. He went from 2 games within winning the championship just 2 years ago to literally the bottom of the league. And here's where things go from bad to badder. Ja Morant ain't eligible to come back until the 19th of December, and after not playing NBA-level basketball for like 8 months, he'll be welcomed back by Zion Williamson and the Pelicans, then the surging Pacers, then the Hawks, Pelicans again, Nuggets, Clippers, Kings, Wembanyama, Raptors, then LeBron and the Lakers. Anything can happen, I guess, but if I were a betting man, I see a lot of L's coming his way. I'm going to go ahead and say it because we all know it already. The Grizzlies are not making the playoffs this season, and heck, they ain't even going to be sniffing the playoffs. I mean, I know it's still early, but looking at the standings, it's currently Durant's Suns and Zion's Pelicans who are fighting for the last 2 play-in positions, with Kawhi and the Clippers trailing hot on their tail at 12th. Then, to make matters even worse, the West has gotten a lot stronger. Chet Holmgren has made the OKC Thunder a playoff contender, and Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs are only going up from here. When Morant gets back, he's going to find himself so deep in a hole that honestly, even with his unworldly leaping abilities, I don't see how he's going to get out of this one. The Western Conference landscape is so rough these days that it's literally 11 or 12 deep. The Grizzlies' problems don't stop here either because, unfortunately, Ja ain't getting any younger. I know he's only 24 right now, but his style of play is not going to fare well as he ages. I mean, just take a look at it yourself. Here's Ja with the ball in transition. He's running full speed down the court, and when LeBron here decided to take the charge, Morant doubled down and went full throttle, only to end up like this. Sheesh, guys. That was bad. Like, just listen to the commentator and what he had to say when he witnessed this. See what I mean by him not being able to play this way for a long time? And in case you were wondering, the answer is yes. Ja Morant does this quite often. I mean, it's his style of play. It's what made him a superstar. It's what makes Ja Morant, Ja Morant. Time and time again, the man charges full speed, going 100 miles an hour, leaping into the air with someone in front of him. Sometimes it ends up in ESPN highlights, but sometimes it looks like he just broke every single bone in his body. Like, there are 206 bones in a human body, and he seriously looks like he's breaking all 206 of them several times a year. It actually pains me to even watch these. And unfortunately, he ain't a Wolverine. He might have been able to get back up from these because he was still young at 21, 22, 23, and 24, but trust me guys, this ain't gonna fare well for him when he turns 27, 28, and then once he's 30, falls like these will probably send him straight to the hospital. So that leaves the question, what's next for Ja Morant? Well, he's currently signed on until like 2028, so financially he's fine, unless he decides to turn on Instagram Live again. God, when will he ever learn? And about that, Ja ran into some off-court issues like 4 or 5 times within the last year? What are the chances he'll come completely clean and start a new path in his career? He said he'd change already last time, but then pulled another stunt just a few months later. But that's a different topic for a different day. I want to stick strictly to basketball here. So, assuming he cleans up his off-court actions, what's next for the once promising superstar? I mean, at this point in time, he was literally about to become the next face of the NBA. That might sound crazy considering the current situation. And if you think I'm kidding about that, just listen to this.
Is Ja Morant going to be the next face of the NBA?
He very well could be.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen. But back to the question, what's next for Ja? The Grizzlies ain't making the playoffs this year, and with Ja's limited three-point shooting ability and reckless style of play, and his aging body, and a Western Conference that's only getting better and better with the arrival of more unicorns and even a frickin' extraterrestrial, where does that leave room for Ja and the Grizzlies? Are they even in a position where they could still compete? I can't believe we're actually asking that, considering they were second in the West for 2 consecutive years, but the truth is, when they were rising up the ranks in the NBA, they had good depth, which included Kyle Anderson, DeAnthony Melton, and Tyus Jones, but they're all gone now. Brandon Clark also went out for an Achilles injury and could be out for the entire 2024 season. And considering his style of play, who knows what he'll look like when he's back? The sky is falling for Ja at the moment. His worst nightmare is unfolding right before his very eyes. And like I said earlier, a team source said it's because the alligators got him. And if you're wondering what that means, here's what an NBA veteran scout once had to say about him before he became a superstar. I studied him inside and out. There was not one person who had a bad thing to say about him. Very much a later bloomer. Good family, had a work ethic, humble, he checked every single box. Excess fame, hundreds of millions of dollars, Casamigos tequila is what happened to Ja Morant. Or in other words, the alligators. He's at a pivotal point in his career currently. Luckily for Morant, however, his book ain't over yet. I said he was getting older, but 24 is still just 24. He still gets to decide how the next chapter gets written, but things do look quite gloomy right now. In the usual Hollywood movie, this is where the happy music is supposed to turn on and where he starts turning his life around. But unfortunately, this ain't the movies, and only time will tell if Ja Morant's gonna be fine.